ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Respected Dr. Mehta Sahib, all the other dignitaries and the heads of the departments, and all the respected teachers, the torchbearers of change. It's a great pleasure meeting you this morning. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Mehta for giving me this opportunity of meeting you all. Because I sincerely believe if there is any change that has to be brought about, and we want to bring about the change in the society and the country and in the world, if at all we can bring about this change will be brought about by teachers and none else. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, in his book India 2020 Vision of the New Millennium, says, if you are a teacher, in whatever capacity you are, you have a very important role to play in making India a developed country. Why? Because more than anybody else, it is you who are shaping the future generations. All the others are working with the present generation. And the present generation has got so many problems. We are undergoing lot of turmoil, lot of problems. So we are not able to see ray of hope from the present generation. But if we can properly educate the future generations, it is they who can bring about the change. And that is why in my speech I delivered in AMA some years back, I said the topic was teacher as a torchbearer of change. The same topic we have kept today, because based on that lecture, the booklet has been published and that booklet will be given to you today. So whatever I have to say, I have given there. So today I want to reserve the time for interaction. Let it be a two-way process, and that is a very good communication process, where I am telling and you are listening, or you may not be listening. There is no guarantee. You may be physically present, mentally absent. But when it comes to interaction, it is you who speak and I listen, and then I speak and you listen. So two-way process is better. So I want to reserve more time for interaction. In the beginning, just to tell a few points, because all the things are given in the book. Mainly, what I have proved is that the teachers only can bring about the change, and the best profession, the noblest profession, and the greatest profession is that of a teacher. And I have mathematically proved it. A is equal to B, B is equal to C, C is equal to D. Therefore, A is equal to, very simple mathematics. So if at all the world has to be changed, for which a global culture and global civilization has to emerge. We are talking about globalization, but where is the global peace? Global peace can come only when there is global civilization. And this global civilization, when it will come? When these basic spiritual values contained in Indian culture of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashchit Dukh Bhag Bhavet. Mind you, there is no bracket there. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, there is no bracket there. Let all be happy. Let all be healthy. Let all attain goodness. Let none become miserable. Let none get misery. That is the Indian spiritual culture, and that is why Swami Vivekananda, when he returned from the West, as you know, he went to the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago and he delivered his historic speech on 11 September 1893. Mind you, that was also 9/11. There, they write the month first, so it was 9/11, 11 September 1893. And so that was 9/11. Am I audible?
Yes.
So, on that day, Swami Vivekananda said, sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant fanaticism, they have drenched it often and often with human blood and destroyed civilizations and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, our human society would have been far more advanced than it is now. But their time has come, and I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all sorts of fanaticism, of all sorts of bigotry, and of all sorts of atrocities, persecutions in the name of religion. And the differences between the persons wending their way to the same goal. This is what he said. But we did not listen to his message of harmony of religions. There was another 9/11 after 108 years, and the twin World Trade Center towers were broken. Why? Those who were sitting in the plane, they thought by destroying these thousands of people, we'll go to heaven. That is why they destroyed. So it was out of fanaticism, out of bigotry. So Swami Vivekananda had warned that time that if we don't say goodbye to fanaticism, we will have to pay a very heavy price. And when Swami Vivekananda gave that message, till that time India was considered a savage country, a slave country. It was already a slave country in 1893. Illiterate, full of poverty, poor people, and people of serpent charmers. Madariyon ka desh tha in their eyes. That was their concept of India. In fact, in the textbooks of the children, the stories were told. Do you know about India? India is a country where they burn the women on the fire. They burn them alive. And the women, they are so very cruel that they put their children hanging onto the tree so that the trees can devour them. And the women are so cruel in India, they throw their children into the river to be eaten away by crocodiles. These are the things that are taught in schools. And there were poems also. Send the Bible there, send the Bible there. Because it is a country where there is no religion. And so let us send the Bible there. In fact, when Swamiji was speaking later on in Detroit, one lady stood up, an American lady said, Swami, you are boasting too much about your Indian culture. Is it not true that in your country, your women throw away their children into the rivers to be eaten away by the crocodiles? Isn't it true? And Swamiji immediately stood up and said, yes, madam, that is very true. You know, I too was thrown like that by my mother, but I was so fat, the crocodile could not eat me. So I am here to speak before you. This is how he had to reply. But when he gave that in our culture, we do not believe in toleration. No, we do not believe in toleration. We accept all religions as equally true. Ekam sarve prabhupada vadanti. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Vasudeva kutumbakam. You are now talking about globalization. We are talking about globalization for thousands of years. Global culture. Vasudha eva. Vasudha means whole earth. We are talking about the welfare of the whole earth, not only of our own country. This is what we have been doing. And the whole table turned. And next day newspapers full of praise for Swami Vivekananda, full size photographs were published. They were there in the streets. There were full size photographs of Swami Vivekananda hanging. And the newspaper full of the praise. And New York Herald, one of the most popular newspapers, wrote, so many religious preachers have come from all over the world, but undoubtedly the greatest figure in the parliament of religions is Swami Vivekananda. That is what they wrote. And then they again added, after listening to him, we feel how foolish on our part to send missionaries to India. Their religion is so great, rather we should invite missionaries from India. So the whole things were turned, and then he told the Americans, why are you suffering? At present, the biggest problem that we are facing in the world is of depression. People are under tension. At that time, America was undergoing that economic strain. It was a very big economic slowdown at that time. It was 1893. People were suffering, including John D. Rockefeller, the richest person of the world at that time. He was suffering, and how he was saved from suicide, that is a long story. I will not go about it. But people were suffering. At that time, Swami Vivekananda said, don't think too lowly about you. Don't think you are weak. Don't think you are miserable. Don't think you are a sinner. No. Vedanta does not recognize sin, it recognizes error. And the greatest error you are making when you call yourself a sinner. And he narrated the shloka from the Shveta Shatarupanishad. Shurvantu Vishve Amritasya Putra Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditavarnam Tamasa Parastat Tameva Viditvati Vritameti Nanya Pantha Viditayanaya. I have found the ancient one is beyond all miseries. By knowing him alone, you shall be free from all miseries. And then he told the Americans, dear sisters and brothers from America, let me call you by this sweet name. What is that? Amritasa Putra. Ye, the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Ye, if it is not sinners, it is a sin to call a man so. It is a stunning libel on human nature. Come up, O loins, and shake off the delusion that you are sheep. Your souls immortal, spirits free, blessed and eternal. Ye are not matter, ye are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. That is how we gave the nectar of Vedanta. And people were thirsty for getting the nectar of Vedanta. For 3.5 years, he stayed there. And then, in 1897, when he came back to India, he was given the ovation, the reception, which befits a world-conquering hero. And in reply to that, he gave very powerful speeches. All these speeches have been compiled into a book. The name of the book is Lectures from Colombo to Almora. Because first he landed in Colombo, and from there he went to Madras, Rameshwaram and all that, to Calcutta, and last his destination was Almora. In fact, I am coming back from Almora 3 days back. At present we are celebrating 125th anniversary of the foundation of Ramakrishna Mission. So they had organized some lectures in some universities. So I delivered the lectures in Almora, the place where Swami Vivekananda delivered his speech. There is only one speech that he has delivered in a school, rest all in the universities, including the Harvard University. So one school where he delivered the speech, that is GIC, Almora, where we had organized our program, and I delivered the speech to the students. I told you are fortunate. You are in the same school where Swami Vivekananda delivered his speech. So that is Almora. So then that time in his speech, Swami Vivekananda, he aroused the whole country. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya Varan Nibodhata, arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. And the whole country got awakened. And then he told them to sacrifice their life for the sake of the nation. And many youngsters, they sacrificed their life. After listening to these lectures, after reading the books containing these lectures, many of them sacrificed their lives for the sake of the nation. And Swami Vivekananda was not an astrologer, but whatever he said came true. In 1897 he said, within 50 years India shall become independent, but without waging a war. Nobody ever thought that India can become independent. But he said, without waging a war, no country could have got. Because Gandhiji came only in 1950. I am talking about 1897. But really happened exactly after 50 years, 1947, India got independence. Whatever he is told, in 1893, when he was staying with the professor there, John Henry Wright, he was the professor at Harvard University. The Mrs. Wright writes in a diary that one day suddenly Swamiji said, there is a great danger that China may attack India after Britishers leave the country. Nobody ever thought that Britishers will leave the country, but it really happened. In 1962, China attacked India. One more thing that he said is yet to come true. What is that? In 1897, Swami Vivekananda said, India shall conquer the whole world by spiritual culture, by spirituality, by global culture. Indian culture means global culture. When we talk about harmony of religions, when we say that all religions lead to the same goal, no religion is bigger, no religion is smaller. There are various ways. You take whatever way, all paths lead to the same goal. This is the Indian culture. This is the global culture. And the whole world has to accept this global culture or get perished. There is no third alternative. So why Swami Vivekananda was asked this question? In spite of being a monk, why are always talking about India, India? He said, because India has a special role to play in making the world a spiritual one. It has got a treasure of India's spiritual culture, which is a global in its content. And that global culture has to spread to the world. In order to save the world, we want that India should be saved. In order to, for the benefit of the whole world, we want that India should remain. India should be saved. Then only the world can be saved. Because India has got a every country has got its own special role. India has a special role of spiritual culture. So then, Swami Vivekananda said at that time about the Indian spiritual culture, that is yet to be done. Already now, gradually it is becoming. In the Time magazine, there was a photograph of a Hollywood actress meditating. Inside it was written, Americans going gaga or yoga. The name of the article was just say Om. 10 millions of Americans are regularly meditating now. And yoga now, 21st June Yoga Day, it has become International Yoga Day, as you know. Our Prime Minister of India made a proposal and the United Nations has accepted this proposal. United Nations General Assembly accepted this proposal within a few months, and now it is International Yoga Day. So gradually Indian spiritual culture is pervading the whole world. So unless until Indian spiritual culture goes to the whole world, India cannot become Vishwaguru. Unless until India becomes Vishwaguru, then other countries will not be saved. But India cannot become a Vishwaguru till India is a developing country. So first India has to become a developed country. Otherwise they will say, oh, you are teaching us. You yourself are, of course now the latest, today's newspaper you must have seen that we have got 7.5% GDP growth and we are the third largest economy of the world now and becoming a very economic superpower. So what Swami Vivekananda said at that time also is coming true, that India's past glory will become insignificant compared to the glory that India will have in future. And economically also, India will once again become Sone ki Chidiya, as it was in the past. That also Swamiji has told has to come true. Gradually it is becoming true. Economically we are prospering. Our Indian spiritual culture is permeating the whole world. So, first thing is A is equal to B. What is? If the whole world can be saved, if only India becomes Vishwaguru. But how it can become Vishwaguru? Only it becomes India becomes a developed country. B is equal to C. Now, how India can become a developed country? Dr. Radhakrishnan says you cannot make a country with bricks. Country is made up of culture, and you have to enlighten you have to have enlightened citizens. So, how the country will be there? The country cannot progress without character building of the citizens. Just now you heard, when I was in Porbandar, there is a part of our quick rehabilitation project. We had considered 37 school buildings and 6 colonies. And also we started, later on, we started Vivekanand Institute of Value Education Culture, Vivek, which was inaugurated by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was the president at the time of India. It was 12 January 2006. There's a beautiful video you can see. 5,000 youths were there, bubbling with energy. And he was very happy to see the children. You know, he loved children. And because it was Swami Vivekananda's birthday, he started how Swami Vivekananda is not only the great personality of India, but of the whole globe. And he said how Swami Vivekananda, he inspired Jamshedji Tata to start Indian Institute of Science. When they were traveling from Japan to Chicago, both were in the same ship. At that time, Swami Vivekananda had told him to give more attention to science and research and industrialization rather than bringing business from America. So Jamshedji Tata, he remembered it and he wrote in his letter, 23rd November 1898, that I remember my journey when we traveled together from Japan to Chicago, and I remember your views about scientific research. So that is how I have started now I am starting Indian Institute of Science, and I know not of a person who can be the better general of the whole campaign. So please help me. This is the letter of Jamshedji Tata. Dr. Kalam talked about it, and then he narrated how India can become a developed country. Then there was question answer session. One student stood up and said, "Sir, Operation Duryodhan, Operation Chakravyuh, and other operations have revealed the tip of the iceberg that is rampant corruption in the country today. As the President of India, how do you feel about it? And where do you think lies the solution?" So Dr. Kalam stood up and said, "You see, the Parliament has already taken some action on the MPs." And then he took out a book of Swami Vivekananda, in which Swami Vivekananda is written and read out, "No number of Parliament acts can make a nation good, can make a nation great." Then what can make a nation good and what can make a nation great? Again he read out, "Only a large number of good enlightened citizens can make a nation good, can make a nation great." And then he said, "The government cannot produce good people, and the government will not produce good people." He told this also, and the government will not produce it. So who can do it? He said, only 3 persons can do it. Only 3. Who are they? Father, mother, and the teacher. Nobody else can do it. So India can rise. India can become Vishwaguru only if the character building of the citizens take place. And character building of the citizens take place before national building. What we want is character building. And building has to have a very strong foundation. And this foundation is laid before the building is started or after the building is completed. Before the building is started, that is in childhood. That is why you are a torchbearer. That is why D is equal to E. You only can play a very important role in the character building of the children, because character building starts in childhood, in the student life. Afterwards also it can be done, but it becomes very difficult. After all, how the character is built. So a thought reap an action, so an action reap a habit, so a habit reap the character, isn't it? Character is nothing but the bundle of habits, and these habits will be built because of the good karmas, and that will come from good noble thoughts. And these thoughts have to be implemented, have to be implanted in the children, right from childhood. That is number in the students. And second thing is that how these samskaras are built up. 4 factors. Number 1, samskaras received from the past birth. Number 2, samskaras received from the parents, either genetically or by the behavior pattern. Third, samskaras received from the environment, from the friends, jaisa sang, jaisa rag. So type of friendship, type of environment, type of culture that he is, and the type of TV shows, type of internet that he watches, and the amount of internet, all these will decide his sanskara. And fourth most important factor is teacher. Teachers, if they implant good samskaras, then the children will become, their character will be built. That is why teacher is a torch bearer of change. A is equal to B, B is equal to C, C is equal to D, D is equal to E, therefore A is equal to. So details are given, you go through the book will be given to you. Now, the second thing, how to become a better teacher. You are all, I give you congratulations because you are a teacher. Now some of you might have come, some of you might have accidentally come. It may happen sometimes. Sometimes yes, it has to happen. But whatever it is, even by if you will come accidentally, then also it will be good to you. Because it is a noble profession, and if you do justice to your profession, you will get what nobody can else get in the world. A teacher in his or her own lifetime comes across minimum 1,000 students. He or she can change the life of 1,000 children. So just imagine, even if one of the 1,000 children gets inspiration from you and becomes Dr. Kalam, or becomes Kiran Bedi, or becomes a great personality or a great scientist, what happens? You feel joy, you feel proud. Yes, my student has achieved it. And the type of honor that you get, nobody else gets that honor. Supposing Dr. Kalam comes and bows down to you that you are my teacher, how proud you feel. President of India touching your feet. It is you who taught me, and that is why I am here, and what I am because of you. If Dr. Kalam says, or Kiran Bedi says, or XYZ says to the teacher, how great you feel. Now this is a special prerogative of teachers. Nobody else has got that privilege. Only teachers can get that compliment. Only teachers can have that pride. And that is why teacher's profession is the noblest profession, the best profession, and the greatest profession in the world. And many places when I go, and the teacher say, Swamiji, the thing is that we are habituated to give the lectures and not to listen to the lectures. So please make it very short. Better you give some mantra and then you go. One success mantra you give and then you go. I say, okay, I'll give you one success mantra and I will go. But condition is that morning 10 times you have to repeat that mantra, and night 10 times you have to repeat that mantra. And I can assure you, if you repeat this mantra 10 times in the morning and 10 times at night while gliding into sleep, within 6 months you will become a better teacher. You will get success in your profession. Okay, you tell the mantra. Tell the mantra and then you go. Should I tell the mantra? All of you want that mantra? Should I reveal it? This is the mantra I am giving you by guarantee. Within 6 months, with this mantra, you will get success. But condition is morning 10 times, night. Ready? Should I give the mantra? Mantra is, I am a teacher. Oh, we thought there will be some powerful mantra and some Sanskrit mantra. Now I am telling you once again, if you repeat this mantra thousands of times, there will be no benefit. Because if you say, I am a teacher within bracket, how miserable I am. Oh, whole day I have to sit with these monkey-like students. They are like monkeys, not so much troubling me. And this type of children I have to handle. And management is also like that. And the parents also always never giving credit to me, always giving discredit. These are the parents. And the students, most disobedient and so much making all the time my life hell. I am a teacher within bracket. How miserable I am. If you repeat this mantra, I am a teacher within bracket. How miserable I am. How unfortunate I am. Then there will be no benefit. But if you repeat the mantra, I am a teacher. No. Within bracket, I am a torch bearer of change. I am a national builder. How great I am. The whole world depends upon me. The future of the whole world is in my hands. The future of the country is in my hands. I am now giving my education to the future. Dr. Kalam, future Kiran Bedi, they are in my classroom and I am teaching them how great I am. I am making such a great sacrifice. How great I am. This is that of a sacrifice. Swami Vivekananda gave a clarion call. When he came back from America, two things he did. One, he started Ramakrishna Mission on 1st May 1897. He started Ramakrishna Mission. That's why we are now celebrating 125th anniversary. Second, he started a school for the children, for the women. He said, no bird can fly with one wing. And so unless until women development takes place, national development will not take place. And women development cannot take place without women education. That time only 1% women were literate. So Swami Vivekananda started a school in Calcutta. That was the capital of the India at that time, not Delhi. Calcutta is the British government, the British rule. So he started the school, but who will handle it? He could not get anyone. So he gave a clarion call to his disciple, Miss Margaret Noble, who was in England, a teacher in England. And he said, he wrote a beautiful letter, an inspiring letter. Awake, awake, great ones, the world is burning with misery. Can you sleep? Let us call and call till the sleeping gods awake. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice is the past, as with the law. It will be alas for ages to come. The earth's best and bravest will have to sacrifice themselves for the good of humanity. Buddhas by the hundreds are necessary with eternal love and pity. And Miss Margaret Noble came from England, came to India, sacrificed her whole life for the sake of the nation, for educating the children, for educating the women. Started school, a school which is now known as Sister Nivedita School. And that is why when Swami Vivekananda gave her Brahmacharya Diksha, he gave her new name. What is that? Nivedita, the dedicated one. Read the life of Sister Nivedita. What dedication, what devotion. So, first is dignity. Always repeating the mantra 10 times morning, 10 times at night. What is the mantra? I am a teacher. Within bracket, how great I am. Not how miserable I am. I am a teacher, within bracket, how great I am. I am a teacher, no. I am a national builder. I am a torch bearer of change. If you repeat this mantra, surely you will get success. So number one, D1 is dignity of profession. Second, dedication. When dignity comes, dedication automatically will come because I am doing great work. So I will have to sacrifice. So D1, D2, and D3. D3 is devotion. Dedication will bring you national award, best teacher award, state award, but that cannot give you God. If you have to get God, you have to dedicate yourself, devote yourself for teaching God in the form of students. So Swami Vivekananda said, I am giving you some additional mantras. You heard the mantra, Matru Devo, Pitru Devo, Acharya Devo, Atiti Devo. Then Swami Vivekananda said, I am giving some additional mantras. Daritya Devo Bhava, Rogi Devo Bhava. That is why Ramakrishna Mission, as per his advice, started so many schools, so many hospitals for worshipping Daridra Narayan, Rogi Narayan. And that is why we do a lot of relief work and all that. Why? Daridra Narayan ki seva karne ke liye, Rogi Narayan ki seva karne ke liye. And similarly, we have started education institutions. Why? To worship Vidyarthi Narayana. So what you have to see, if you say, I am not teaching, what I am doing? I am worshipping Vidyarthi Narayana. Vidyarthi students will say, I am worshipping Acharya Devabhava. And Acharya will see God in students. When you are worshipping God, if you worship God, what type of flower you should give? बासी फ्लावर दोगे, सड़े हुए फ्लावर दोगे, सड़े हुए फल दोगे, ये fresh flower and fresh fruit दोगे. Fresh fruits and fresh flowers. So excellent fruits have to be given. Excellent flower has to be given. So what type of education should be given to Vidyarthi Narayana? Excellent education. What a great responsibility for a teacher. You have to give excellent education. Then when you are worshipping Vidyarthi Narayana, in the spirit of worship, it becomes devotion and not dedication. It is one step forward. What happens? You get salary, TADA, everything, plus God. God means infinite happiness, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, Satchid Ananda. This also you can get. Nothing extra you have to do. You don't have to go to the forest. You don't have to go to the cave. While doing your work, you can get infinite happiness, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss. So that is why D1, D2, D3. Then C1, C2, C3. What is C1? C1 is communication. Communication is very important. So as I told you, let us have two-way communication. So communication, two-way communication. There are various other methods of communication. Lecture method is there, role play is there, audiovisual is there. So many types of communication. So communication to be more effective. But second thing is confidence. If you are confident, then you will be able to perform better. How confidence will come? When you say, when you feel that you have got infinite power within. Shurvantu Vishwamritasa Putra. You are the children of immortal bliss. You have got infinite power. Inside every human being, there is that infinite power. Try to arouse that infinite power within, and that confidence will come. Why? Because there is potentiality. Each soul is potentially divine. Then third is, what is it? It is concentration. Swami Vivekananda said, if I have to do my education over again, I will not undergo the present system of education. First I will learn how to control my mind, how to concentrate my mind. Information I can have at my own will. He had so much of concentration, and yet he wanted more concentration. How much he had? I'll just give two examples. You know, Ramakrishna Math Mission, we have 265 centers, 200 in India, 65 abroad, out of which 7 centers are in Gujarat, including one in Rajkot, which was started in 1927. So there are 265 centers, and the headquarters is at Belur near Kolkata, by the side of the Ganges. So if you go to Belur, you will find a big temple of Ramakrishna. All this Ramakrishna Ashram Rajkot has, how many of you visited? Ramakrishna Ashram, Rajkot, very, very good. Half of you have visited, others must go there. Beautiful library, 35,000 books. Vivekananda Book World is also there. There is a beautiful temple. This temple is a prototype temple of Belur Math. That temple is slightly bigger, but the statue you find as if it is a replica, and the temple also almost a replica. So there is a beautiful temple. Behind the temple is a two-storied house. On the first floor there is a room in which Swami Vivekananda used to stay. And that room has been preserved as it is. His chair, his table, his turban, his clothes, his musical instrument, everything is there. You feel as if Swamiji is still there. In that very room, Swamiji passed away on 4th July 1902 at the age of 39 years. I am talking about an incident that happened a little before that, few days before that. Swamiji was reading a book. The name of the book is Encyclopedia Britannica. You must have seen that book. Oh, so many volumes are there, very thick volumes. They were all spread all over. When his disciple came, the name of the disciple is Sharat Chandra Chakravarti. He writes in his diary that when I went there, Swamiji was fully busy with reading the books. I said, Swamiji, so many volumes are there. It will take whole lifetime to complete this whole volume, whole set. Swamiji said, what do you say? Only a few days back, these volumes have come. I have already finished 10 volumes and now I am reading the 11th volume. Huh? What do you say? Such big volumes, 10 volumes you have finished? I don't believe. Swami said, you don't believe? Okay. From first 10 volumes you ask any question you want to ask. And the disciple asked so many questions. And Swamiji replied all the questions and correct replies. And sometimes quoting the very language of the book. Then the disciple was very much, Swamiji, this is a miracle. Swamiji, this is not a miracle. What is this? This is the power of concentration of mind. Some of you must be reading Divya Bhaskar. Today in that Divya Bhaskar, this article has come. Today in the article this incident has come. Every Thursday there is Dharma Lokya, Dharma Darshan. There my article comes every Thursday. So today's article contains this particular incident. How Swamiji got this? How much was the concentration? So there, those disciples said it's a miracle. He said, no, it's not a miracle. That is the power of concentration of mind. If your concentration of mind, 10 hours study can be done in 1 hour. And not only study, in every sphere of life you get the success. So when Swamiji went to the West second time, first he went 1893 for participation in the World Parliament of Religions, came back in 1897. 1899 again he went, and this time he went to the western side coast also. In 1893 time he did not go to western coast. This time he went to western coast at the invitation of the devotees, and there is a place called Camp Taylor. So he was going through that particular place and was crossing a river. There was a bridge, and he saw 4 cowboys trying to shoot at the axles which were floating in water. But their shots were going in vain because there was a string of 12 axles, not axles, and they're floating in water like that. So for some time Swamiji watched, and then he could not help smiling. And these 4 cowboys became very much annoyed. What? You are laughing at us? Is it a small job to shoot the axles that are floating in water? Okay, we give you the challenge. Let us see how do you do it. Then they headed over the gun to Swamiji. So what to do? Swamiji took up the gun, shoot at the axe, and aimed at the axles. 12 axles gone in 12 shots. And these cowboys became very much astonished. Swami, how long you are practicing? We are practicing for 5 years. How long you are practicing? Swamiji said, my dear friends, I am holding the gun for the first time. Huh? First time you hold the gun and you shoot all the axles? It's a miracle. Swamiji said, this is not a miracle. That is the power of concentration of mind. So concentration of mind is key to success in every sphere of life, in study, in music, in games, sports, everywhere. Now how to get concentration of mind? C is directly proportional to P, where C is equal to concentration of mind and P is equal to purity of mind. So this is a very big subject, but main thing is that if you want to be successful as a teacher, you must see that in your students this concentration power develops. And that will come by purity of mind, and purity of mind will come by purity of your intellect. And that comes intact not only in terms of food, in terms of what you see through eyes, how many hours you are watching video games, how many hours you are seeing the internet and the TV channels and all that. All this will decide your concentration power. Both quantity and quality have to be seen. Quantity has to be reduced and quality also has to be specified. Good programs, if you are seeing, it will not have bad effect. But if you see the bad programs, it will have more effect. So we have to safeguard ourselves. So in a nutshell, C is direct proportional to P, where C is equal to concentration of mind and P is equal to purity of mind. So C1, communication, C2 and C3, concentration. Now, Q, Q1, Q2, Q3. IQ, EQ, SQ. IQ know everything, all of you got high IQ, that is why you are here as a teacher. Otherwise you would not have become a teacher of Genuis School. Children are genius, so what about the teacher? They will be double genius. 10 times genius. So, you are genius, so you have got high IQ, there is no doubt about it. Then EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman made a research in 1991 and said EQ is more important than IQ if you want to get long-term success and happiness. Now the latest discovery of the modern science is SQ. Dana Zohar, she is a professor in Oxford University. She has written a book, the name of the book is SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she says neurologically, physiologically, psychologically, biologically, from every point of view there is a concluding evidence. There is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. What is IQ? IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. What is EQ? How to play the game of life under changed circumstances with changed strategies. That is EQ will tell. And SQ will tell you why to play the game of life. What is the purpose of life? Why we are here on this earth? What do we want to achieve before we die? So that we don't have any regrets at the time of death. As Alexander the Great had a great regret. You know, he was a world conqueror. At the time of death he was weeping. He said that particular saint who I had met, he was laughing at the time of death and I am weeping at the time of death because I cannot take all these elephants and horses and all the golden ornament, nothing I can take with me. So he said, when I die, put my hands dangling out of the grave. Why? Because let the world receive the message. Alexander came, he conquered the whole world. So many horses, so many elephants, so much of gold. Nothing I can carry, I am going in empty-handed. Let the world receive the message. Everybody has to go empty-handed. What will go with us is our karmas. What will go with us is only our samskaras. What will go with us is the good work and deeds that we have done. Nothing else. No amount of certificates, no gold medals, no number of cars, latest mobiles, latest dress, nothing will go with us. So that is SQ. Now many books have come on SQ, but one of the first book to come was by Dana Zohar, very beautiful book. It came 1997. Neurologically, it was proved that we have a God spot on the brain. In 1997, it was discovered. In 2000, finally, Dana Zohar wrote the book SQ. Neurologically, physiologically, biologically, psychologically. From every point of view, there is a concluding evidence, something called SQ, which is both of IQ and EQ. So, IQ, EQ, SQ. Now we are left with only one sentence. If you remember, you get the whole formula. Swami Vivekananda said, purity, passions, and perseverance. Purity, passions, and perseverance, these are the three essential to success. These are the three essential to success. And above all, love. Above all, love. L1, L2, L3. What is L1? Love towards the students. L2, love toward the profession. I am a teacher. How great I am. And love toward the learning. Learning is a continuous process. Student's role is to learn. Teacher's role is to forget. No. is to learn. If you keep updated. Now many teachers, they say that nowadays students are not listening to us. How they will listen? Because they have got the latest news from the chat GPT. They have got the latest thing from the internet, and you are having your note which is 10-year-old. Already it is torn pages. You learned 10 years back whatever you learned. Now you are trying to give to the students, and students having the latest knowledge, they are not going to listen to you naturally. So that is why the teachers have to remain updated. And this is for a short time. No teacher after 5 years. AI, artificial intelligence is coming. Everything will be taught by the chat GPT, and now more instrument is coming from Google. They will be giving. Teacher will have to disappear in the void. What will come is only facilitator. You have to facilitate which type of chat GPT will be more easy to access and all that. You will be only facilitator. And more importantly, what you have to impart is not knowledge, is not information. Information is there in the mobile. Information is there in the Google. Google has got much more information than you. So Swami Vivekananda said 150 years back he told, just imagine, he said, education is not the amount of information that goes into your brains and runs undigested all your life. Education is being and becoming. The role of teacher will be, only role will be to build the character of the citizens, the future citizens, to build the character of the students. Learning will be done by artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Google. Your role is to give samskaras. And how can you impart samskaras? How can you impart values? So we have to remember, values are never taught. Values are always caught. Values can never be taught. Values are always caught. You tell the monkeys, give up your cap, they will not give. You give up your cap, monkeys will give up that. And the children, students are like monkeys. If you tell them, hey, don't see mobile, they are not doing. But if you give up mobile, they will give up the mobile. So that is why Swami Vivekananda gave a very big mandate. Be and make. First you become great, make others great. First build your own character, then character of citizens, their students will take place. Because they are not going to listen to what you are saying. They are going to do what you are doing. Because they are like monkeys. So be and make, that is the mandate. So this will come if you love the children, if you love the learning, you will remain updated about the information and the latest technology and the latest information. Then only you will be relevant. Otherwise, students will find you are not relevant. And when they find you are not relevant, naturally respect will not come. Today, the biggest thing is that many teachers, they tell me, you are talking too high about teachers. Okay? But in real life, teachers are not given any respect. Then I said one thing, do not demand respect, command respect. I know some teachers who command respect. Even today, the teachers are going and the students in the road, they are making pranam because their life is like that. So don't demand respect, command respect. But in general, in our country, in our culture, we give maximum respect to the teachers. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namah. This is what has been told, that Guru is greater than God. But then, who is that Guru? That was a spiritual Guru. In olden times, the knowledge was given, both types of knowledge was given. Paravidya, Aparavidya. In Mundokopishan it is said, Ve vidye veditavye parachaiva aparacha. Para and aparavidya. What is paravidya? What is aparavidya? Everything is aparavidya. Physics, chemistry, mathematics, geography, history, including the scriptures, they are all aparavidya. Paravidya is knowing which is beyond time, space and causation. Knowing that reality which is beyond time, space and causation, knowing that Brahman, knowing that infinite, which is a special prerogative of human beings. That is to know the infinite. No other species can have that access. spiritual quotient SQ, available only with the human beings. IQ available with all the species including computers. EQ is available only with a few species. SQ only with the human beings. So we have a special prerogative, reaching that infinite, having that infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite happiness. That is the special prerogative that human beings can have, and that is the goal of life. And that is why we have to have IQ, EQ, SQ, all the three. So that is why the teachers, they are the role models. They will become a role model for the children, provided their character development takes place. Then only the students, their character development will take place. So that is why this formula is S is equal to 3D plus 3C plus 3Q plus 3P and plus 3L. Purity, patience and perseverance. These are the three essentials to success, and above all, love. Love towards the students, love towards the learning, love towards the profession of a teacher. So this is the formula that I have given in a nutshell. Everything you will get in the book, Teachers, the Torch Bearer of Change. I am very happy to talk to you.